In this video, we are going to look at one of the biggest rabbit farms here in Ghana, known as the Ace Rabbit Farms. If today's your first time seeing me, my name is Shao Sentry. I'm a tax consultant and I'm passionate about farming. And here on this channel, we do talk about farming and share ideas about agriculture here in Africa. In today's video, we are going to look at rabbit farming. And yes, this is one of the biggest rabbit farms I've ever visited. It is located here in Accra, not in some village or anywhere, but here in Accra. They have this big rabbit farm in here. Among all the rabbit farms I've visited, I can attest that yes, this is one of the biggest I've ever visited. We're here to look at the owners, look at how they started, how the journey has been, and the vision of going about this rabbit farming. If you're looking at one of the modern ways of growing rabbits, in this farm, they have it, and that's what we're going to look at in today's video. Before we get into the video, make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. Share this video, share it to other people to come and see some of this inspiring or some of this interesting stuff that people are doing here in Ghana. Like this video as well and subscribe to the channel to help us grow. The goal is to hit 20,000 subscribers before this year ends and we enter the new year. So yeah, make sure you subscribe onto the channel. Without much ado, let's get right into the video. So I'm here with Mr. Clement. I think I spoke to your son earlier when he took us through quite a number of things. Can you also introduce yourself to my viewers? Since they don't know you, they are now seeing you in the footage. Yeah.
Okay, viewers. My name is Clement. And then this is Ace Farms. And then Ace Farms comes as a result of Alex, Clement, and Elliot. So as we came up with the name Ace Farms.
Okay, yeah. Okay. So we spoke to your son and he took us through a lot about how the farm began like some 3 years back, how it has been so far up until now. Would you also say you going into rabbit farming, from his discussion we had with him, he said your brother,
cousin,
your cousin, introduced it. So when he brought the idea, what was it like for you? Why did you also decide to support it to also go into rabbit farming and not like any other type of farming?
Okay, we, originally the beginning of it, it was a habit that we were doing when we were very young. Okay. But then you look at what were you doing? As to look into the future, do you have market for it? You ask yourself. And then now we realized that we saw in Kaswa, we visited the rabbit farm in Kaswa, and then the name is Farmer Brown.
Farmer Brown.
Farmer Brown. He has a restaurant, and then with the farm as well. So the farm goes to the restaurant.
Sure.
So we were really impressed when we went and have a lunch there.
When it comes to rabbit farming in Ghana, he's like one of the big gurus when it comes to rabbit farming.
Yeah, the big gurus in rabbit farms. Yeah. And then we were really impressed, and then we were discussing, and then we came out, and then we said, we have to pursue it. So that's how we started.
Okay, so he said you began with 3 rabbits.
Yeah, we bought 3 rabbits from him.
From his end, okay, yeah. Okay. So currently, I know this is like, as I was saying earlier, this is one of the biggest farms I've been to as among all the rabbit farms I've visited in Ghana. What is the capacity of rabbits you have in here?
Total capacity, we have 56 doors, and then out of that, it gives us 280 rabbits.
Wow.
As total we have
280.
Yeah.
Nice. So if someone watching us who don't understand the meaning of the doors you are speaking of, what is a door?
The door is like a cage with one female. That is, the female is called door.
Okay.
So that's how we come about with. Yeah, okay, that is the capacity.
Sure. Yeah. 280.
So one door can give the maximum is 5 as a liter, 5 babies.
5 liter. Okay.
But some go beyond that.
What's the highest you've recorded here?
13.
Oh wow.
13 bunnies, yeah.
That's impressive.
Yeah, but when it happens so, even though it's a good news, but you need to cross like 3 or 4 doors at the same time.
Okay.
So when 1 liter less and then 1 liter more, so you can foster.
Sure.
You can foster to
You
the
know
1 liter less.
Yeah, with that process, I heard from other farmers that it's one of the risky things a farmer can do, in the sense that normally when they give birth and you take some of the kids to those who have lesser ones, the mothers can sense that maybe these ones are not his, and they end up eating them or not destroying them, not paying attention. Can you throw more light on that for us?
Okay, the trick in that is when you you're fostering, you take the 1 liter less fair. You take a small quantity of fair, and then you put it down, and then you take the 1 liter more that you want to foster.
Okay.
You take and then rub the fair on those bunnies for some time, like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and then the scent or whatever it is, it looks like it's the same. So when you put it back to the 1 liter less, it looks like it's the same. Yeah,
you're confusing the rabbits.
It's nature.
Yeah. Okay, so I want us to look at the caging system in here. Okay. I know from the cages we have here, so the ones there looks a little bit different from the ones here.
Exactly.
Yes. Can you let us know?
Very observant.
Yes. Can you let us know how wide those differences?
Okay. The difference is when we started with this, but then as we go along, as the days pass, or the days pass.
Yeah.
We saw on the YouTube that somebody did that the new technology. So we said, wow, this is advanced. This is advanced than what we did. So we invited him, and then he threw more light on that for us, and then we asked him to do. We go by him or by it. Yeah.
So it means initially these were the ones that you used to have, then later you transferred. Yeah, because I like the modernized.
The modernized one. Yeah. Okay. As time goes on, we'll be changing all this.
Okay.
We'll put the new technology. Yeah.
Okay. But even with these old ones, I like the way the cages seems to be more spacious for the rabbits. They are not clamped together.
Yeah.
So even if you have like one door in a particular cage with the kids, it's more spacious for them.
More spacious, more airy. Yeah.
Yes, for them to be.
I love it as well. It's more airy. But we want to put the new technology.
Yeah, the new ones too is also quite spacious as well. Okay. So looking at the new technology, the new ones, so we can see they are more like drains for the urine.
Yeah.
Do you guys sell the urine? What are some of the importance that come with keeping the urine? Why do you collect them like that?
Yeah. You throw more light about the urine.
Okay.
We read about it, and then we heard about it. In Europe, it's a raw material for perfume.
For perfume?
Yeah, for perfume. And then, raw materials, when they say this is the raw material for that, you wouldn't believe it until it's being processed.
Yeah.
Just like the fur, they use it for coats, and then other like pillows and, other stuffs like raincoats,
Yeah.
Like in Europe, when the weather is very cold. Yeah. So there's a raw material for perfume, and as a pet, you can use a pesticide and then fertilizer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That is the urine.
Sure. So do you have people who come here to come and buy them on the farm?
Not yet, because we just started. So, but individuals are coming for it. Okay. But very soon we'll start selling. We'll go commercial.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So you are watching this video and you also want some of the urine to buy. I think they have a good drainage system in here where they collect mostly all the urines and store them. So you can also visit their farm and also get some of the urine to buy as well. Okay, so also the feces. I know some farmers also use them as fertilizers. Yeah. Yes. Do people also come for that, or how do you go about that in here?
The feces. We heaping them, and when the demand comes, people say, "Oh, I want some to improve my soil fertility." Then we give it to them. Okay. But we're yet to start on that as well, as we're talking about the urine.
The urine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's very good. Very good.
Sure. So let's look at disease control. Speaking with your son earlier on, he said when you started, there were challenges, especially with diseases. Most of them were dying. There were some problems that came with it. How do you control diseases here at Ace Rabbit Farms?
Okay, the control comes simply as how the way you treat them is a main factor, and what you give them to take is also another factor.
Okay.
So as it serves as a control already for them to have a good, a healthy body and then good life to live.
Okay.
And then the environment as well. They need a shady environment, they need area environment as well. And then we sometimes give them, medications like deworming them,
Okay.
and then a little bit of vitamin.
Okay.
Yeah, once a while.
Once a while.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I mean, we have a victory over that diseases.
Sure. Okay. So looking at inbreeding, the topic of inbreeding,
Yeah.
I can see in here, your son also mentioned that as one of the challenges, and most farmers also face those kind of challenges.
Yeah.
For those watching us who don't know what inbreeding is, firstly, can you explain what inbreeding is for us?
Okay, inbreeding is using the same family to do the crossing, like a brother and a sister.
Okay.
So that is, as a result of that, the result is not going to be good. They'll be having challenges, diseases will come, and etc. So we always use a bag from another farm or another generation background to do the crossing.
Okay.
So we don't have inbreeding.
Inbreeding here.
Yeah.
Sure. So like, the next question I wanted to ask, I think you've touched a little bit on that, is how do you avoid situations of inbreeding? At what point do you separate maybe the brothers and sisters? Because when they give birth, maybe you keep them with their mother for some time and you change them. How do you go about making sure that inbreeding does not occur here at the farm?
Okay, you said it right. We are very careful in doing the selection.
Okay.
When they give birth, so we know that this is coming from that doe and that parent. So we are careful about when we are coming to cross.
Okay.
So then we don't do inbreeding.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We know that this is from that
Different.
father, this from this mother, especially it's the father. Yeah. So we know that they are not brothers and sisters. So we don't do that. Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. So from another observation as well, I can see we have numbering or chocks on the cages. Can you explain to us what those are?
Okay, we go by each cage, that is do 1, do 2, do 3, 4, 5, 6, blah 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 blah, up to 56.
Okay.
That's the way we do it. So that when we doing the crossing, we know that this is from the mother, and the back to that is their fathers. We know that is from the father. When we do the crossing, we write the father's cage number on the doe cage, that this is the father that crossed.
Okay, so it helps even
with
the inbreeding issue you talked about.
So we solve the inbreeding.
Oh, nice. So I think from other farms they said they do record keeping and stuff. So this is like form of a record keeping for you that to help prevent some of these things. Okay. So one of the other things also with experience observed when you are going around feeding them. So there was a situation where you make some of like the feed itself and you added a little bit of the grass to it. What is the importance of that?
Okay, as my son said earlier on, when he visited South Africa, he realized that what we are feeding with the rabbits is not very good. So, but what can we do? This is the system here, the system that is different. So, in their kingdom they need fiber, like the grass, but it should be a specific grass that use, contain the nutrients, that a lot of protein. Okay. So they have a special grass that they use there. They have two types: tuft grass, and then we have brachiaria. Brachiaria. So that is what I use as a fiber for them. Yeah.
Looking at in terms of crossing your bunnies and getting the kits from them, I can see there are some of the cages. There are these boxes in there. What purpose do they serve? At what point do you also put them in the cage? And why is it that they have some in some cages and some in not? Other cages as well?
Those boxes, as you've seen in the cages, we call them litter boxes when they are pregnant. like they carry their pregnancy for 1 month, and then they deliver. So when we cross them, we write the date. We know the date. So we watching, or as we see the record, we watching and then time them 2 days to the time of delivery. We put that litter box in the cage for them to litter. And then the moment you put it, they go and then do the practice. You see them, scratching the box and doing their practice, ready for delivery.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I wanted to also know, at what point do you wean the bunnies from their mother to also avoid some of these inbreeding things? What month or how many days does it take for you to wean them?
Okay, that is a good one. Usually, some people wean them 4 weeks, and we decided, we were doing it before, but we realized that no, when you wean them at the tender age, 4 weeks, it's still, they haven't finished, the mother breastfeeding them well.
Okay.
For them to grow, and then before they become independent, before you take them away from their mother.
Okay.
So we decided to go that far, like 6 weeks or 7 weeks.
Okay.
And then, but then they are grown well. They are very grown well to live on their own,
okay.
and so they don't suffer any disease.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But if you wean them 4 weeks, they are too tender for them to be on their own. So when you wean them, they begin to experience some diseases, like diarrhea and other kind of things. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And when weaning them, when you leave them for the 6 weeks, within that 6 weeks, don't they start crossing each other, or they?
Oh no. They get matured after 4 months before they do
The actual
things.
crossing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Even gender checking, we check them after 4 weeks. That is when they are 2 months old. You can see the gender very well. That this is a male and that's a female. Yeah. And then you start the separation from the 2 months.
Okay.
That is for 8 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when weaning, how do you go about the weaning? Because I'm asking this because some are of the view that if you wean, they normally take the mother rather out and leave the kids in there. So they put the mother in a new cage because the kids are already familiarized with the cage.
Okay.
If you have to change them into a different cage, they would see that there are some changes and they'll start falling sick or some other thing. So how do you go about your weaning?
The weaning, yeah, okay. Usually in Europe, that is they change the environment for them.
Okay.
But here we just go, we collect the bunnies from their mother.
From their mother, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And doesn't have any problem when you put them in a cage?
That's what I answered you earlier on, that let them grow well.
Before you do that?
For them, before you pick them from their mother.
Okay.
So they don't, they are not strike, or they can stand on their own. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that means they are a little bit matured.
To be on their own?
Yeah, to be on their own.
Okay.
That's when you take them from the mother to another cage. Yeah.
Okay. And also, one other thing will be when crossing. So you see, there are some farmers who put their cage, the male and the females together in one cage, and they go and come and have an idea what they've been crossed.
Yeah, they've been crossing.
How do you go about the crossing?
Crossing now, before we were finding it difficult, but now we've adopted a system that moringa is very good for them. Moringa stock. So when they give birth, and then you are about to wean the babies, the bunnies from their mother.
Okay.
But that 5 weeks, 6 weeks, you are giving the mother the moringa stock. So the within that week, that 2 weeks, the moment you win the bunnies, the mother is ready for crossing. It comes on heat.
Oh, okay.
It works for us.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, before
nice.
we
So the moringa actually does the magic.
The moringa stock, very good.
Okay,
before we didn't know,
okay.
And then we will have to take the dough to the back to cross. No, there's a refuser. It doesn't go. And then we know it was a challenge. So we were thinking, and then we came with the idea of moringa stock.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it works.
Yeah, it works. It works.
Okay.
Even when you win the babies and the mother is still not ready for crossing, you just keep giving the moringa stock. Within 3 days,
it will be on heat.
It will be on heat.
Okay.
It works very well.
Sure. So how do you determine that your boundary has been crossed. Maybe some people, in terms of the
the doe has been
yeah,
crossed.
the doe has been crossed.
Yeah.
Some people like put them in the cage and they monitor them, let them do whatever they want to do, and they're able to determine. Some also leave the male and the female together in the cage. They go.
It's all time. You can't be there, be watching. Like 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. You'll be tired.
Okay.
So that's why they leave it and then go.
Okay.
And then when you leave and go, you come back, you write the dates because you didn't know whether the back has crossed the door.
Okay.
But when it's on heat, you go and give it one cross. You can go the second cross. That's fine. But the third cross, is a waste of
time.
Yeah, waste of space.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you just once you leave them and you go and come, ideally the job has been done. You just book the date.
Yeah, you just book the day. Otherwise, you don't book it. Yeah.
Okay.
And then what happens is we do verification after 10 days.
Okay.
10 days, you take the doe again to the back to check if it's pregnant. And then we're making that pregnancy noise. So you know that it's been crossed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So during that, does it allow the male to cross it? Or
No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
And it makes that noise.
Yeah, it doesn't allow the back to cross. But
So
if it's not pregnant, Isa will give herself to the back to cross again.
Okay.
Yeah.
So to get a terminology right, it's like I'm confusing them. The back is a male.
Is a male. Yeah.
The doe is a female.
Is a female. Yeah.
The bandits are the kids.
Yeah, the kids. Yeah.
The letter box is what you put in.
Yeah,
them.
that is a.
Okay, yes. So just we get the terminology right and not confuse them because it's like you are bringing them in and people might be confused. Okay, sure. So now let's look at the doe is pregnant.
Okay.
Is there a particular type of feeding you give them, particular type of treatment you have to give them?
Yeah, that is very important as well.
Okay.
You increase the quantity of food that you give to the doe when it's pregnant. Like if it's 1 cup, you see the small cup, the tomato cup I was using this morning. Yeah, usually we give them 1 in the morning because in the morning they don't feed much. Okay. They are nocturnal animals. So in the night they feed more. Okay. So we give that 2 cups in the night. But when it's pregnant, you can give 2.5. 2.5. Yeah. And then sometimes it's observation. You watch them. Some of them are very, they have appetite. They eat more. Just like we human beings. Some they can't eat much. Yeah. And some to eat a lot, but they don't get big. You see, so you observe and then you realize this particular doe, it eats very well. It eats so much, so you can give a little bit extra. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Just for you to have a good farm. Yeah. Okay. Observation. It's very important. Very important. Yeah. One of the key things you have to observe. Observation. I always say to my son, observation is very important. Yeah. Know your animal. Get to them. Get closer to them. The way they behave, the way they eat. Know them. Yeah. Okay. Very important. He went to South Africa. The same thing they told him. The masters there. Yeah. Say know your animal. Observe them. Get closer to them. The way they eat, some eat much, some don't eat much. So you get a little bit extra, the one that eats more. Yeah. So you have a good farm. Nice. So when he was telling me that, I was just surprised. I didn't even know. I was, all along, I always tell him that what I feel is right, and not knowing they were doing it up there also. Yeah. And then he was told, and he said, he was telling me, I said, what do I always tell you? Get your animal, know them. Very important. Yeah. Know them. It's the same thing, you know your children. Yeah. This one is so much. This one doesn't. Sure. I get you. So in terms of the feeding too, how many times do you feed them? Twice. Some other farmers say once, but no, we don't want to go that system. We want to feed them in the morning and then in the evening. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I think it's the reason is some of them, some I always say observation. Some of them they poo in the feeder, in the bowl. Okay. And some of them wee. The animal, they can do that. Yeah. So you don't say, they are okay, but sometimes one has misbehaved. It's just like we human being. All you know is they are behaving well. All we know we are behaving, but before you realize, the mindset has gone different way. Yeah. So you say, no, I don't believe this. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So can you take us through a day in on Ace Farms when you normally in the morning? What do you do
Okay.
like on a daily
Yeah.
basis when you come to the farm? What's the first thing you do? What you do here on the farm?
Okay, we have a timetable.
Okay.
As to every 3 days time, we tidy up the place. Sweeping. Like cleanliness.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
we tidy up the place, and then as I told you earlier on, we feed them in the morning and then in the evening. Yeah,
Okay.
and then medication. I said it earlier
Those
on.
as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
So the medication, like, let me just chip this in.
and then the crossing as well.
Okay.
We do it timely.
Sure.
Yeah.
The medication, can you give us some of the medications you give? So maybe those watching us who want to get some of them might also know some of the medications you used.
Okay. Like deworming is Capromac,
Okay.
and then ivermectin. Ivermectin. Either you use ivermectin, it's the same thing. Yeah.
For them, that's for the women.
Yeah, once in a month or that kind of thing.
Then the vitamins too.
The vitamin we use total amino vitamin.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And that one, how regular do you give them?
It's also like and then apple cider vinegar.
Oh, okay.
Apple cider, yeah.
Then the one is good as
If
well.
you don't get the total, vitamin, then you use apple cider. But he brought the idea from South Africa that apple cider is.
It's rather better.
Yeah, that's what they use mostly.
Mm.
Yeah, so we eventually going to, change to apple cider.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay. So I think we've looked at basically almost everything. I want us to delve into if there's any advice maybe you give for new
Other
beginners
farmers,
or other farmers to also farming rabbits.
Okay.
I know you guys have your cousin in South Africa who has some of the experience and supporting, giving this knowledge. When I spoke to your son too, you could see a big difference from what the South Africans are doing and what we are also
very
doing.
different, big difference.
Yes. So for those watching us who don't know, if there's some tips, some advice you can give to some farmers or even new beginners, what would that be?
Yeah, it's all dedication and focus. That you don't give up. There are challenges in everything that you do. It's not only rabbit farming. In anything, life is full of challenges.
Yes, please.
Yeah. So, we go. You feed them in the morning. You feed them in the evening. Don't be tired. Sometimes you are tired. The body is exhausted. So it's okay. This evening I'm not feeding them. That is, you are drawing back.
Exactly.
The moment whatever you do to get a good results, if you miss it, know that there is a minus coming back to you. There's something come to hit you. Yeah. That's all I can say. Yeah, okay. Keep the ball rolling, keep the wheel turning.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. It's another advice. As when I spoke to your son, he was talking about this unemployment issues and stuff. This was like one of the main challenges we have in the country at the moment. Is there any advice you give to most of the youth who feel like, there are no jobs around and most of us chasing their white collar jobs? Any advice you give to most of the youth out there?
Oh, the youth out there, we all know that this is what is hit in the country, or it's been hit in the country for ages.
Yeah.
And employment, you must create something to earn, some revenue.
Yeah.
Create something yourself to earn some revenue.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Sure. And finally, to the government, I know we have a lot of challenges when it comes to farming here in Ghana. If there is one thing you want the government to help in terms of farmers or in terms of attention when it comes to rabbit farming, what would that be?
Oh, it's a good idea. I mean, it's an awesome idea that when we approach the government, or the government officials come to see what we are doing, and then they ask us what do we need from the government to do for us. We say, okay, these are our proposals. We want to acquire big land and then expand, so we can feed our country and then go beyond export.
Okay.
And feed other countries as well. But then it gives employment to the people. It goes on. It's a chain.
Sure. So in the next 5 years, in years to come, where do we see Ace Rabbit farming to be at a point? Maybe the next time I might visit Ace Rabbit farms, what is the vision like as time goes on? Yeah,
Charles, that is, you want to know a secret, but anyway, I'll tell you a little bit. It's a very difficult question. Sure. We aim in higher.
Okay.
In everything that we do. Even the child goes to school. The child is having some zeal in him or her that you want to be a doctor, you want to be an engineer, you want to be a pilot, you want to be that, you want to be this.
Yeah.
So as we started small, we want to go. We want to
Sure.
climb. The sky is the limit.
It's a generic answer. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Okay. So I think that will close out the video here on Ace Rabbit Farms. In the first place, if you are those in the diaspora coming down who have not tried rabbit before, use this opportunity to try some of the rabbits. If you want rabbits to buy, visit the Ace Rabbit Farms. It's at Christian Village around Ashimota, here in Accra. Just give them a call. If you search their name on Google, you can just Google Map. You just type in Ace Rabbit Farms. Yes, it will direct you straight here. If you want to start your own rabbit farm and you need rabbits to buy, as you said, there are different breeds. They have good breeds in here. They get breeds from South Africa. They have hybrids and stuff. So for good breeds, you can just pay them a visit and get some of the breeds for yourself and get some to buy. All right, so that would close out the video. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. Share this video to other people who want to start, other rabbit farmers, other new beginners who want to start their own rabbit farm, to see some of the exciting things that other farmers are doing here in Ghana. All right, so I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.
Thank you. Thank you.